Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk about the Charlie D. Wysocki Football Camp coming to us on Saturday, June 4th at Wyoming Seminary's Nesbitt Field. Joining us right now is Dave Pacella, a good friend of Charlie's. And Dave, you're on Charlie's management team and along with Dr. Sobel. And, you're part of this group and really doing some great things for Charlie, and he's doing some great things, and he really wants to give back to his community. And we're all excited about this football camp coming up in about a week or so.
Well, we are too. We're really excited about this opportunity for the camp and for the kids that'll come and everyone who's contributed to it. It's been a vision of Charlie's to give back to the community. Obviously, Charlie has suffered with mental illness since about the time he left the University of Maryland and had a very difficult life. And now a lot of people stepped up to help him with the Maryland football family. And we were very happy to do that and wanted to see him do well in life. And he certainly has made a big recovery, in large part because he wanted to, his desire to be well. But a lot of people have helped him. And what we have talked to Charlie about is that, hey, you got helped, people helped you, you should give back, and you should give back in whatever the best way you can. And Charlie certainly is limited in what he can do, but he certainly can do a lot, and he has been doing that. And this is one of the ways in which he wants to help back in the community, which has supported him, through the years, even when he was a player back in high school, Myers High School.
And Charlie has such fond memories of that high school with his coach back then, Mickey Gorham, who he looked so fondly upon, and then, of course, heading over to the University of Maryland and how he looked there upon his teammates and his coaches, and just one of those guys that has a contagious smile.
He does. When I didn't know where Charlie was from the time, actually, I was a senior in Maryland until really 6 years ago. We all lost track of Charlie. We didn't know what was going on with him. And when I did finally find out where he was and went to meet with him, he was in rough shape. But one of the things that stuck out to me was he still had that glimmer in his eye, and he still had that big smile, even though he didn't have any teeth. And that big personality that he had, when I knew him, and it was still there. It was still inside of him, even though there was other things that were going on in his life that were very difficult. I could still see that glimmer in his eye, and I knew there was hope there for him, and he wanted to get better. And I knew that if I didn't know how to help him at that time, I was really kind of overwhelmed, but I knew that if we just took one day at a time, we kind of figure it out. And it started out just by befriending him again and going from there. So, it's a good story. It's a good story for giving, and certainly when you give, you get way more back. And I got to tell you, Charlie's been more of a blessing to me than I have been to him, and I think Dr. Sobel would say the same thing.
And being around Charlie, it becomes it becomes bigger than him, I think, in the resolve to say, hey, this is really about somebody who has a challenge. It's about mental illness, and it's about somebody who is putting forth an effort every single day, and whether it's a text message or a phone call or just a smile. But that you're working for Charlie. You're really working for a bigger cause here.
Well, I think so. This story now, Charlie's story, our story, is a great story to tell, and it's a great story to inspire others to help other people. And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, we all need help at some point. We all go through difficult times. We all have storms that arise in our life. Some are more challenging than others, but we always look to someone for advice, or we look for someone for help. And it's good to be able to do that. And we can't, not one individual can save the world, but we can reach out to people that are in our community or in our circle. You don't have to go out and, it'd be great if you had an influence on many, many people, but but even to help out Charlie, this is one person, but now we can see it starting to mushroom, and people starting to hear his story and of inspiration and hope, and that encourages them. And so now this is an opportunity with the camp. Dr. Sobel and I will have the opportunity to speak there, and Charlie will too. And you don't know how it's going to touch somebody's life, because mental illness, you don't have to go too far. And I think there's probably many people that have been affected by it. Either they're a caregiver, or they know somebody in their family that has been affected by mental illness. And this is something that, when it comes to disease states, is not one that people want to really rally behind so much. It's difficult. It's not a disease state like breast cancer, where there seems to be a lot of support for that, which is great. I mean, my wife is a survivor of breast cancer, and we all want support there as well. But I'm just trying to draw the comparison between the two. So this is good. This is good for Charlie. It's good for awareness of mental illness. It's good for a story of hope and inspiration to encourage people.
And here in northeastern Pennsylvania, much like the University of Maryland football family has done, these coaches here, these high school football coaches, have rallied around this cause and say, hey, I'm going to be there. I'm going to bring my kids. I'm going to show up. Whatever you need, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get a bus for the student athletes to come down to this camp. So, and this area has always been known for giving, and I feel like there's a lot of warmth right now in the football community to come out and support and volunteer their time for the Charlie D. Wysocki Football Camp.
Well, I think it's really exciting, and John, you deserve a lot of credit in getting this together. And it's awesome. I'm a Pennsylvania guy as well. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania. Played at Reading High School, and Pennsylvania is near and dear to my heart. And certainly that region of Pennsylvania, some serious football has been played up there through the years, and great players and great coaches with a long history. And it is a very giving area, and very generous people. Very good people, salt of the earth people, and it's really exciting to see. And it's going to be a great day. So I hope there's a big turnout for the players. I know the coaches are going to be there, and that's great. We're excited for it.
And a lot of support again from the University of Maryland alum Dave Pacella, Dr. Mark Sobel, Kevin Glover, John Langton, guys like that who really lended a hand here to make sure that this camp gets off the ground and does what it's supposed to do, a free football camp for 7th through 12th graders for the 2016-17 school year. And Dave, we really look forward to seeing you on that day, and looking forward to hearing you, Dr. Sobel, and Charlie speak to everyone at the end.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Dave Pacella, a friend of Charlie D. Wysocki Football Camp, but of course a great guy who played at the University of Maryland and hit the NFL as well. Looking forward to seeing him here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.